Hello, this is Christian from CA Painting. Just giving a little advices and tips about how to do kitchen cabinets. In this case, we're working on a cabinets that somebody supposedly refinished them. They were previously stained and clear coated. Um, Honestly, the guy who did it didn't do a very good job. Um, as you can see on the video, even of the poor quality of the camera on the phone, you can see all the spots just in one single door. Now, you can see all the stain bleeding through the door itself. Now, imagine a whole full set of cabinets looking like that. Now, this guy said that he did that for a living to the investor that I'm fixing these cabinets for. Um, Now we have a few doors in here that I sand them off to remove all the sheen and all the stuff that he put previously. I still have to go through those. So I'll take you through a little tour so I can show you what we're working on. This is one of the cabinets. This is in the hallway. The house as is empty. We did the painting and the interior as well. As you can see, we put a nice grate on the walls. Nice bright white semi-gloss on the doors. And a nice dead flat on the ceilings. As you can see in this area here, we only took the doors off. We still have to get to cover floors and everything in here. But the guy, you can see if you look into the video, you can see that all the spots, all the areas, and how bad quality job he provided for this job. He was supposed to paint that area underneath white, the same as the rest of the cabinet. So yeah, just an advice. I mean, I respect people trying to support their families. I do the same thing. I'm not a perfect painter, but I like to support my family as well. I like to be able to have all taken care of for them and cover all their needs. But I'm not gonna put myself in a position where people can actually take me to court for this, because it only takes $700 or over $700 to take you to court. Now, he missed a lot of the spots. As you can see, he missed a lot of stuff. He didn't fix that. I had to fix that little molding on the bottom. He was supposed to have all this taken care of before we had the granite put in. So now I had to cover everything around and fix all the mess. Pull the stove, remove the fridge, cover the dishwasher, and cover all the floors, as you can see. So we had to make sure that nothing gets on the walls because we already paint them. Unfortunately, not everybody thinks doing things the right way. They just want to make a quick buck and call it a day. Which, I mean, at the end of the day, is your reputation in the middle. You know, I mean, I like to keep my customers happy and keep getting referrals from them and keep myself busy. You know, and this is a pretty straightforward type of jobs that if you don't know how to do it, you can look online, you can look on YouTube, like that. For example, like this video, everything is in the internet. Everything is in the internet. There's tips, there's ways to, if you want to do it yourself, what stuff you can use. In this case, I will recommend you guys to use Don Edwards Block-It, which is an interior-exterior primer, only made for drywall, wood, and and interior stains or something for the exterior as well. This is not suitable, however, for masonry or metal. Now our top coat is going to be the new product from Dunn Edwards as well, which is called AristoShield. In this case, well, in most cases we always use high gloss. That being said, the reason we use high gloss is to make and improve the quality of the cabinet, to improve the cabinet itself. Most of the cabinets, when they're stained, they do have a clear coat. In this case, they were staining. You can see how poor of the job was. He didn't even sand anything. He just slapped primer, and he didn't even top coat him. He only put clear coat over the primer, and he thought it was done. As you can see, he missed all the bottoms and all the cabinets. He missed them all. Everything is still bleeding through. Crazy amount of grease on the cabinets. He didn't degrease them at all. So, talking about degreasing, that's the main thing. That's the key of succeed and refinishing a cabinet. Now, whether if you're doing it yourself or whether you're paying someone to do it, that's the main thing you have to always put your eye on. Use a good degreaser. Normally, painters would like to use the TSP, or you can use a heavy-duty degreaser, thin it down with the water, and use some of those fibers that you usually use to wash dishes. Not soaking wet, just kind of dip it into the water, take as much as water off of it, and kind of scrub it into the surfaces. And then you don't rinse it. You use a dry rag and you clean it. You just clean it and you just let it dry, and that's it. Now after that, you have to make sure that everything you do accordingly to the instructions, as the specifics of whatever product you might be using. You can be using oil-based, water-based, the new waterborne stuff. There's a lot of products out there that you can use. So, as you can see, whatever this guy used didn't really hold up pretty well to the cabinets themselves, because it wasn't just coming off like dust. It was actually peeling off the cabinet. So some stuff got to stay. Obviously, you can see how deeply I sanded them. I want to always make sure that everything is nice and smooth. So I used a 120 grit and a 220 afterwards. That 120, it's previews the priming part, and the 220 is afterwards, just a scuff sanded again, so you can put your top coat. I'm still working on my setup in here. This is my little toy right here, my little Magnum SR5. Pretty good machines. If you guys come across with one of them, I'll tell you one thing. I had it for 10 years. Works perfect. I have fixed it myself a few times. I have no complaints on those machines. So if you come across with one of them, such as for 100, 200, 300 to 400 bucks, if it's new and 400 bucks, it's a pretty good price, because that machine is gonna last a long time. But we'll talk about that later. So, as I was saying, you only have to keep eye on how do you do things around. So, you have to make sure that you sand everything off, that you take everything that it has to come off. As you can see, this guy just covered around all the hardware from the bathroom and everything. So he missed a lot of things. So he did a very poor job. And as you can see right here, that's the clear coat that he just put on top of the primer. Because this is not even an actual semi-gloss. This is not even an actual paint at all. This is just primer top coated with the base 3 from Behr, which is a good product. I have used it a lot. The high gloss works perfect as long as you do things right. If not, you compromising the quality. You're just wasting your time, and you make a homeowner or a builder, investor, whatever the case might be, waste their time as well. So The fact is, I know everybody wants to make some money and make it quick, but if you're not you're not gonna be willingly to do it right, don't bother. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't put yourself in a position where you're gonna end up in trouble. You know, I mean, if you wanted, get yourself in a little bit of a venture and try to do it yourself and learn from there, go ahead. You know, my advice is do your research on the stuff. You know, think about what you're gonna do and how you're gonna do it. Look at the project itself, and just think about what is it that needs to be done. In this case, if it's a house, if you're gonna have to clean walls, if you're gonna have to degrease the walls and clean them because they're kind of greasy, if there's nicotine stain on the walls, if it's grease from cooking on the walls, all those type of things, you have to kind of look into that kind of stuff before you put any paint, because it could be the most expensive paint, but it's not gonna change a thing if the surface is not prepped right. The preparation is key to success. If you don't pay attention to that, and then you're in big trouble. So just keep an eye on that. Just pay attention to preparation. That's what it takes most of the time to do preparation work. So just use a nice degreaser for cabinets and a good quality primer. I mean, you guys can always use Don Edwards, Sherwin-Williams, Behr, Benjamin Moore, PPG, Glidden, whatever product you feel comfortable with or familiar with. So now in this case, that's what we're using in this house. Now I'm gonna tell you a little bit about this paint. This paint is special to me. I have been using it in another project doing some wrought iron, and it looks pretty good, and it's a semi-gloss. So now I'm gonna tell you this. It's a water-based urethane alkyd. For those who doesn't know what that actually means, it means the paint, it dries hard, it bonds hard to any surface, and it's for interior and exterior. I mean, you can use it in just about anywhere. As you can see in a little bit of the specifics, I use the high gloss, which is the biggest amount of sheen you can possibly find. And you can put it in drywall, wood, metal, masonry. So, and most of the cans in the back will say the recommendations of how to apply the paint itself, what rollers, what brushes to use, what kind of a sprayer you can use. So you just gotta make sure that everything you do, it's done right. As you can see right there, as you can see, it kind of blurs a little bit up close to the can. It does says how to apply it, how to work with it, and everything. And you can also search everything online. Like I say, everything is in Google. You can just Google it, how to apply a Aristo Shield, how to apply Block-It, how to apply just about everything, and what tools you can possibly use. As far as if you can use a Wagner spray gun, a Graco spray gun, a Titan, or whatever the case might be. In this case, we're gonna use a fine finish tip, so we can prime. Oh no, I'll take that back. I'm gonna use just a regular 211 tip to prime them. I wanna make sure that my primer is nice and thick. We want it high as much as possible of this wood grain. Not getting rid of it, completely, but getting close to just to have a little bit of a wood grain, not such a noticeable like that. So, and afterwards, we're gonna use the fine finish tip to top coat it. So we're gonna put one coat of primer, one coat of paint on the back. Now we're gonna put one coat of paint on the front, I mean, a one coat of primer on the front, sorry, and 2 coats of paint. Why? Because, as you know, cabinets, the area that it gets touched the most is going to be the door, not the rest of the cabinet. So you have to always make sure that everything is well done and nice and thick, so it doesn't get messed up. Now, if you scratch it, it's still gonna be okay because you can still fix it. But the nice thing about that paint is it's so nice and it flows nice and it covers nice and it cures nice that if you scratch it, it's not gonna peel like a normal semi-gloss. So that's another thing you have to put attention a lot. So I do recommend for cabinets to use a palm sander. I have the both, the Urtable and just the regular palm sander. I got this at Harbor Freight a long time ago. It turned out to be a pretty good little machine. I recently got this one because for some reason the ones for Harbor Freight, they just keep breaking, not from the motor part, but the switch itself. It just it's not a good quality switch, so that's the first thing that it goes off. I do use this one of these tools too as well, the multi-tool. You can use a scraper, sander, whatever you want to use on it. It's very helpful though. You want to always make sure you have a nice 110 and 220 sandpaper. I am using my compressor. As you can see, I have my hose here. So as I sand the doors themselves, I'm taking all the debris off because that'll clog the sandpaper as well. So it makes it a little easier, a little quicker. So just keep in mind, if you want to do it yourself, just look at the specific of the product. And just do everything a nice pace. You don't have to rush things up, because if you do, they're not gonna turn out the way you want them to turn out, and you're gonna be disappointed yourself. Now, if you're gonna have somebody to do it, just make sure that person is capable of doing what it says it's gonna do, and it's gonna follow procedure. Otherwise, it's gonna defeat the whole purpose. It's gonna make you waste money and time, and time is invaluable. So just keep eyeing that. As you can see, we're working here in the garage as well. We're gonna roll the walls, but I spray a little bit on the wall, so it makes it easier for the paint to be applied with the roller. We're gonna paint the doors, trims, and everything. But as we're gonna use the garage for our setup for the doors and stuff like that as well, we're not gonna paint it to the very end, so we don't have no dust in the house. So I'll give you a little tour as well and what we did in the house. We had the new tile put in, the ceramic wood looking tile. Everything in the house was white, and it was a much yellowish white than a Swiss coffee, which is very popular here in Arizona. And we changed it for this nice gray. It's called varnish clay from Behr. We did not use Behr, however. We've been using some products from Valspar. Pretty cool stuff. I came across this pretty cool guy named is Carlos. Very helpful guy. He does delivery on site, and he does tinting on site. So pretty cool stuff, pretty cool paint. I love the semi-gloss. It covers okay, but it sticks and bonds to the surfaces very well. We paint the ceilings. We have nice ceiling fans. We have nice chandeliers in most of the areas, because we have high ceilings in this house. As you can see, we have a nice brand new ceiling fan in all rooms. Beautiful ceiling fans. Nice light fixtures. We have a nice water heater as well. As you can see, we still got the box here. So this is just a little bit of what we do. So take it from me, just as an advice. Don't take it the wrong way. If you don't know how to do something, don't do it. Just pass it on to someone that you know that he might be capable of doing things. You might can sub it out and you can get a little bit of money too as well, so you don't feel like you're wasting your time. But you can get in big trouble because refinishing cabinets is not cheap. It's time consuming. It's not cheap, and most people expect very highest quality job at the end because they have to be a nice finish at the end. They have to have a nice impression for whoever is gonna live in the house. Now this house, it was totally white, totally white. We put a nice bright white on the ceilings, beautiful white. And that's it. I just wanted to walk you through a little few steps how we do cabinets. I will, however, post a video as well on how they're gonna turn out to be. I will take a video when they're prime. I will take a video when they're top coated and put back together. We're not changing any hardware. It stays as is. And I believe the investor is gonna put the new handles himself. So we're just gonna put it back together, make it look sharp, make it look good, make it look nice, make it look expensive. Now we try to go all the 9 yards in every job because the houses are for sale. People expect high quality looking house that they're not gonna have to worry about doing nothing to it. So just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. If you're a contractor yourself, or you are a painter that has not a whole lot of experience, just keep those advices in mind. You know, take it from me. I start from the bottom. I've been doing this for 12 years. I love my job. I love to do the right thing. I love to have my customers and my clientele happy with my work. I get so many referrals because I like to take my time and do things right. It's not always about how you quick make money. Because it's good to make money, yes. But it's not good to mess with people's things. So just take that advice from me. Keep it cool, you guys. My name is Christian Aguilar, CA Painting. I look forward to upload more videos about this kind of projects. I will upload a video with the priming on the cabinets and the finish, the top coat. All right, so God bless you guys. Don't get yourself in trouble. Don't do something you guys don't know how to do. I have been there. I've done that. And I have learned from my mistakes. So I do not want you guys to go and get in trouble and be in the kind of a situation that I have found myself. So I pretty much taught myself in this whole trade along with my father. He works with me. You guys actually just missed him. He just went home. We started this whole thing together. We work for companies, contractors, and as you go on through the years, you improve your technique and you learn some new tricks. Most people doesn't want to share their knowledge with others, you know. And which I respect their way of thinking, you know. But if I see that I can help someone with something that I know, I like to share it. What the hell? I mean, it's not gonna it doesn't mean that I'm not gonna get any more work. If someone else can be able to feed their family and support their family, hey, I'm not against that. All right, so this is advice for me. Take it if you will. If not, I mean, that's all I can say. God bless. Good luck. If you want to do it yourself, and if you're a homeowner, just pay attention to what you're doing. Do it carefully. One other good thing you can do is try in one little section. You can take a door from the cabinet itself, um, and work on it, and work on it, and see how it turns out. You can do that. That way, you don't do the whole thing, and then if you don't like it, you don't end up disappointing yourself about how everything turned out. So, good luck. God bless. See you guys.